I... Where am I?
It's all right, son. Don't panic. It's over.
I'm back? Where are the guests?
I invited them to go up to their rooms. They're resting. Don't worry.
Gregory?
We won, Louis. It's over.
He's dead?
Definitively. Now the way is clear. At any rate, rejoice. Great things await us.
What did you do to him?
I devoured his soul.
But I didn't see you use the Holy Lance.
Indeed not. I didn't need to. Can't you guess how I did it? The Lance of Longinus is just a vessel, Louis. It could have been any object that had the blood of Christ on it. The blood of an ancient, more precisely. But I didn't need the blood of an ancient. You see, I have been in dear Lord Mortimer's physical body for longer than my brother has been in Sir Gregory Holmes. Therefore, I am an ancient, Louis.
He was your brother. Why did you kill him? He never meant you any harm.
Oh, Louis, I am exhausted. Let's talk about this later.
No, tell me why now. I want to understand.
Stubborn as a mule. After centuries of trying to convince him, I assure you I had no other option than to do away with him. He would never have allowed me to depose our father. In the past, he had already opposed me, and sometimes very violently. He seemed to you like a man of peace, because you did not represent any danger to him. But I can assure you, he was not. With anything to do with our father, he would be merciless. In any case, what's done is done. I'm going to rest in the dining room. Join me there when you're ready. The time has come to end this little antisocial gathering.
I did well not to follow home, didn't I? Come on, let's get it over with and join Mortimer in the dining room.
Saturn devouring his son. Good God, how awful. This chest might belong to Duchess Hillsborough. A sack of seeds. It's unopened. No one seems to have used any.
What is... Yes! Yes! At last I found it! Al-Azif!
Well, you gotta admit, you did give us a run for our money.
Huh? What? A page has been torn out.
Some rope. Apparently no one's touched it for a good long time. This chest might belong to Duchess Hillsborough. barrel's been broken for quite some time. Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language in all its splendor. Whoever masters French commands the world, at least une partie of it.
Dear E.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter, a devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits. Sir Johann von Wulner. President George Washington. Monseigneur, it's Cardinal Piaggi. Amber crystals. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly. What are you doing?
Oh, Monsieur Volner asked me to prepare his belongings in anticipation of his imminent departure, sir.
His departure? So quickly?
Oh, yes, he seemed to be in rather a hurry.
Ah, very well. Would you know where I might bump into him one last time?
Ah, if Sir would like to say goodbye, Sir will find him in his room.
Thank you. Johann,
Louis, I haven't the time.
what are you doing?
I'm getting out of here, what do you think? And going as far away as possible. Sir Gregory is dead. And in case you haven't grasped it yet, I am no longer safe here. If you value your life, you had better do the same.
Hey, wait a
No,
second.
no, I haven't time. Good luck in the future.
Right, now's the time to join Mortimer. I won't be able to go back after... Here we go.
Louis, I was expecting you.
Do you feel better?
Yes, don't worry, I'll be all right. I wanted to speak with you about what's going to happen next. But before we begin, I would like you to give me back the Holy Lance, please. Now that Gregory is gone, you won't be needing it anymore, and I prefer to put it back in its place.
I no longer have it. Didn't Monsieur Bonaparte give it back to you?
No. So, the rascal stole it from you, did he?
It's not something I'm proud to admit, but yes. He thought I was trying to rob you and that it would compromise the conference.
How typical of him. This conference will have been one of the most eventful I've ever known.
I'll just have to take your word for it.
Before I get to why we're here, you must know that I've been watching you very closely over these past few days. I won't hide the fact that I was disappointed that you did not succeed in saving Jacques Peroux. You handled that situation very badly. As for the door of my crypt, no one had ever found out how to open it before you. You succeeded in telling the Hillsborough twins apart. Even for me, that wasn't an easy thing to do at first. I remain proud of what you achieved for me by falsifying that letter to the Pope on behalf of Piaggi, because I know that was not an easy task. But the important thing is that you escaped the worst with Volner, because he could have killed you when you were in the guise of Piaggi.
Yes, it was a bit touch and go.
Which leads me to a chat about what I envisage for you now. You are the chosen one, Louis. The one I've been waiting for all this time.
Thank you,
We are going to be able to become one.
I don't quite follow you.
Be proud of yourself, son, for you are the one I have chosen to be my next mortal coil.
But
What about me? Am I imagining things, or did he just tell me to my face that he's going to eat me?
Unfortunately, no, you won't survive the transfer. But I want you to know that I only select my bodies from my own children, and that you are the one who has impressed me most. It's far from being my first time, as you can imagine. I didn't think it was possible to find a more promising son than dear Augustus. You can be very proud of yourself.
Wait a second, hang on. Do you realize what you're saying? Are you insane?
Oh, come, my son. Let's not end everything on a bad note, please.
Son of a bitch! He's not going to get away with this so easily. I must make him get closer to me.
Come now, don't complicate things.
Wait, I have something else you want.
Well, look at that. You found it. Decidedly, you are very resourceful, Louis. You impress me right up to the very last. For Al-Azif, I am willing to get closer. No! No, not now! You've ruined everything!
Like father, like son.
As Mortimer had planned, Napoleon Bonaparte sold Louisiana to the United States after purchasing it from Spain. Bonaparte continued his political and military ascension until he proclaimed himself emperor. He went on to invade a large part of Central Europe. The legend of Napoleon persisted after his death, conferring on the emperor the role of Messiah for France. Remaining very popular, George Washington put an end to the various internal rebellions without violence and re-established trade agreements with Great Britain. Upon his death, he became a national hero and left an entire nation in a state of mourning. On his return to Spain, Manuel Godoy proceeded to give Louisiana up to France. Later on, he became the target of the Crown Prince of Spain, Ferdinand VII. The latter gave no respite to his mother's lover, going as far as condemning him to exile. He confiscated all of Manuel's titles and possessions, as well as those of his mistress, Pepita. Pursued, they ended up living out their last years in France in poverty and anonymity. The influence von Wollner had over King Frederick William ironically ended up working against him. The sovereign thrust him into increasing repression until the end of his reign. Von Wollner became the object of the people's hatred, was therefore stripped of his titles and land by the new king, and died in poverty to general indifference in the Prussian countryside. The Duchess, through her close ties with the crown, made it possible for Great Britain to build closer links with the United States on both the diplomatic and commercial fronts. She became inseparable from Marchioness Cunningham, reputed for being the most influential mistress of King George IV of England, and whom she inducted into the Golden Order. His Eminence, having successfully accomplished his mission, returned to His Holiness the Pope with full honors. Although all his ambitions had become possible, to the stupefaction of his entourage, the Cardinal preferred to retire to his Tuscan monastery, far from all political and diplomatic entanglements. Fascinated by the techniques involved in exorcism and demonology, he dedicated the last years of his life to the study of Inquisition reports. Sarah de Richet never returned from her trip to the English Isles. Her disappearance spelled the end of the Golden Order and was the object of gossip for almost 3 days at the court of France. No more was ever heard of Lord William Mortimer. His sudden disappearance was the subject of conversations in the European courts, but only for a few months.